Oh boy, new patch for the PTR is out, and I'm sure there's a race for content creators to cover all the good stuff. Well, I'm not going to be a part of that race, because I'm going to be taking a deeper look at some of these changes, and we're going to go over them over the course of this next week, and maybe even a little bit in the next week, depending on how crazy the changes turn out to actually be. Today's video, though, is just kind of a general overview with emphasis on the new server browser that's being added to Overwatch. Today's video is sponsored by Haste, a service that's dedicated to lowering your ping and improving your connection to video game servers. If you're having high ping issues or ping spike issues, Haste can help you solve this problem. Try it now for free, link is in the description. Alright, patch 1.8 is live on the PTR servers, so what do we have to look at? So the biggest change is the introduction of the new server browser and different custom game settings. This is honestly huge. This means a lot for Overwatch as an esport, and for Overwatch going into the future and its longevity. This is a giant change that I don't think a lot of people are really giving enough credit. So from a very basic point of view, the server browser will allow you to find people playing custom game modes with settings or, features that you want. You'll be able to search for servers, search for certain settings that are turned on or off, and play with other people that also want those settings. For example, if someone wants to play without Tracer enabled, they can look for a custom game server where Tracer is disabled. This sounds pretty cool on its own, but wait until I tell you one more thing. They've added a ton of new custom game settings, and if I'm not mistaken, when you're using this server browser, you can search for any of them. What do I mean by any of them? Well, you can pretty much customize the game to your liking now. You can change the cooldowns of individual abilities on heroes, or remove their abilities entirely, change the capture rate of any objective, or the speed the payload moves. The possibilities, well, they're not endless, but they're pretty close. Honestly, if you watch the developer update video or you go into the PTR server, there are so many settings. It's actually insane. And what's really great about this change is that it's not just for people that want to have fun. It can help them. If you want to just have fun and go into these custom game modes, you can totally do so, but this is going to be the first step into something greater. I can feel it. If you ever played CSGO or any of the Counter-Strike games, you'll know that there are dedicated servers that people custom make for doing things like aim training or strafe training or any mechanic in game. You can actually practice them on privately owned servers that people customize to their liking. And I know that's not going to be seen right now, and it's probably not going to be seen for a while, but this is definitely the first step in getting there. Right now, there's not much you can do as far as just training mechanics outside of the actual game. If you want to train aim, you have to go into the practice range, which sucks, or set up some Ana bots on headshots only, which is arguably not the best. Now, I'm sure there's going to be people coming up with very creative ways to train aim or train various different mechanics, maybe parkour, movement, any of these things. People will be making servers with custom settings now that there are a ton of custom settings. That way you can practice these things, which is something I do think Overwatch needed. On top of this, it's great for tournament organizers and people who want to make Overwatch more competitive as well, because not always do people agree with Blizzard's balancing decisions. Some people might think the game is more competitive if the payload moves a little bit slower on a hybrid map, something like that. Now, tournament organizers can find and devise a way where they think the game is most competitive and most fair to both teams. You aren't stuck to Blizzard's rule set anymore. For example, if they think, you just capture points too quickly, it's really not fair, one team dies and they can't get back, or they think 2CP is unfair because a whole team wipe means you won't be able to capture the second point, maybe they'll make it so you can cap the point faster. That way the team on the second point can't really just stall out forever. Things like this are things tournament organizers can now do. So from a competitive standpoint as well, this is actually an amazing change that I'm definitely glad Blizzard incorporated. This rework of the custom game system is definitely going to help Overwatch now and in the long run. You even earn XP now when playing in custom games. I imagine the dev team was like, we're putting all this effort effort into this new way to play, we should definitely give them XP. That way there is at least a little bit of incentive to do so. And so they did. And now you get XP when you're playing custom games as well. There is nothing bad that can come out of this. I honestly can't see anything bad from this. Even you as a player, if you want to improve, I bet you there will be custom servers out there set up just to play the competitive game mode in a competitive setting. But you won't have to risk your SR doing so. You can play and try your hardest with other people that try their hardest, unlike in quick play, and get better without risking any of your rank. If you're curious about what the actual changes are, I'll show some on screen here, what you can do to actually customize your game, but just know there are really not too many limits. If there's a number value associated to it, you can probably change it. And a lot of the changes are actually sliders instead of just set values. So if you want, you can set something to, let's say, 90% of what it used to be, and not just like the set values it used to be, where you could set cooldowns to like 200%, 100%, 75, 50, 25, or 0%. You can customize everything. You can rebalance Overwatch entirely if you want, which is really freaky if you think about it. People can make changes now to the game themselves and try to suggest them to Blizzard if they think they work. That's nuts. Jeff mentioned the ability to create fun game modes too with this new setting, where you give someone like Roadhog triple his health, triple his damage, and maybe better healing against maybe 3 of any other hero who has a smaller health pool and reduced healing, which would be fun. It would kind of be like a boss fight. I think this idea would also be really cool. It's going to make for some great videos, and I can't imagine what all the fun Overwatch YouTubers are going to do with them, like Zilbrad and all of them. They're probably going to have some great videos where they mess with these custom settings and make truly fun games, and I'm looking forward to that too. I really think this change is just good for the Overwatch community in general. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go make a custom game where Genji deals way too much damage, then go around killing everyone and feeling like a true boss. Special thanks to Sockmeister for the footage in today's video. His Twitch link will be in the description, so make sure to follow him there. Some Grandmaster gameplay, almost top 500 if you're interested in that. And also be sure to check out this video I'm putting on screen, because if you don't, then you're missing out on crucial information that could be the end of Overwatch. You won't be missing out on that, but you should still click the video on screen. I'll see you guys all later. Have a good one. Lone Hawk out.